Next op-ed piece is about us and people who listen to THI or comment on THI. And it seems some people are struggling more and more over the last few months. I do notice it. And sometimes people, rather than go inward and address why someone's is considered a problem, having a drink during a 3-hour talk show is a problem to them, or various other complaints of I'm laughing too much, or I play offensive songs, which was only played once, or adding some humour to the shows to lighten the mood is such a problem. But the question back is, why does it bother you so much? The issue really is not me, is it? But surely if it was, why would you listen to someone who irritates you that much? Why is laughter and fun so much of an issue to some people? Have we not swallowed that much in sin eating? It renders you unable to have some fun these days. Do you feel guilty for having fun, and if so, why? But in the world of political correctness, which is a misnomer in and of itself, it's neither political nor correct, and the whole thing becomes mired in stifling expression, rendering many mute, which leads to inner frustration and ultimately a vibrational lowering mechanism. This is what they've done. And much of political correctness, when it started, was to do with people not being nice to black people, which had to be addressed. Make no bones about that. But since when has the system ever been nice to anyone? Never mind blacks. Political correctness has morphed into something far more than being nicer to black people. It's a total control system, the classic being the N-word, which now disproportionately offends so many people of other colours, not because it's an offence to black people, no, because people like to be sanctimonious about everything, because in some way they become superior. But with the N-word has now become ridiculous when black people are calling each other the N-word, and I'm told it's a term of endearment, except term of endearment morphs into a racist statement if someone outside their colour says it. Where's the balance in that? So that one word, which is a derivative of Negro, and Negro means black, is now a banned expression that causes mock outrage, whilst the people who are offended by it now call each other by it. And yet people don't seem to think that whole scenario is bizarre, and even less see it as one giant divide and conquer tactic. It's no wonder we hardly have any comedians anymore. Oh, you can't laugh on the show, Thomas. It's because people are too concerned about being offended by anything that they've lost the use of laughter as a release mechanism tool. Is that not another control system that the system has created for us, and one far too many of us have bought into? Yet again, they can create it. It doesn't mean we have to go along with it. And this is how and why we end up in a mess. We played the game they created for us. They don't even have to administer it or tweak it for maximum effect. We do that all to ourselves. Like I warned last week, we have to think more on what we're saying, portraying, or writing. And one of the several complaints that I've recently received was the GIF of Dickhead Cheney. Yes, you heard that right. And a picture of him with a penis on his head. So it seems that's offensive to some, in particular Facebook, as they ban it. Fine, if it's offensive. But have you considered what I feel is offensive? Because what's offensive to me is people who don't focus on what Dick Cheney has done to this world. And why isn't that the focus? Why is defiling Cheney's face or forehead more of an issue than his participation in mass genocide, mass infanticide, ritual abuse and torture? That has to be the key issue, surely. Is it because you can't face that issue? which is in some cases is understandable. But why target your inability to face real issues onto others and onto something that's rather trivial compared to what that man's done? These are the real issues we all must face, rather than the 4 or 5 people who wrote in complaining about the MeWe chat in the past week. This is not a critique of those who complained. Far from it. They are entitled to their opinion. But what I'm trying to get across to people and get people to see is, where is your energy going? Is it focused on the correct things? There's 3 hours of show material each week, and some complain about one song, me laughing too much, saying oops too much, me having a drink, non-alcoholic I might add, or clicking a lighter, and now the chat and the show is not serious enough. And the latest is I come across as arrogant because I point out that the cabal failed several times. Fine. What do you want me to do? Celebrate their mass genocide? Here's the intel for tonight, people. The cabal tortured, raped and killed loads of Africans this week. Hooray, they succeeded. And they are winning their Agenda 21 plan. Is that what you want me to do? Think about what you're actually saying. If you're running down some of the very few people who are at least trying to end the cabal, what does that say about you? Oh, I would love some of you to spend a week in Kim's shoes, never mind mine. Many wouldn't last a day, never mind a week. And it's all mindless thinking, and mindless thinking, or more importantly, heartless thinking. You're not thinking from the heart. And it's the very reason we are fighting this system at all, because each and every one of us has played the game for them in so many ways. You won't correct that with finding fault of everyone around you, whilst ignoring all the world's ills. You just won't. Now the gist of this piece is, and why I have done it, is we have some people who will not focus on what has really triggered them within the show, and is masking that with a personal distraction of, look, someone over there is causing issues. Now that will work temporarily for that person, but not long term. The drama goes away, but the real issue stays with you. It is you that you are ultimately damaging, not the person that you are projecting at. And it's up to you all to look at yourselves and do your best to correct that trigger. I know it's not easy, but short-term pain brings long-term gain. The other way round never worked. And this is why our show focuses heavily on the shadow and inner work so much. Because if everyone fixed theirs, this world will become a better place overnight. But the issue is not me personally, or for large parts of the chat either. The issue is personal, unresolved aspects of yourself. That is the real issue. As the lead person of this group, I often become the projection screen, and I get that. But is projecting at me really helping you? The answer is no. Only when you address the real reasons for the projections will you then become the clean, clear and free of yourself and your own personal issues. You want to be free? Freeing yourself is cathartic.